do? Absolutely. One of the problems is people get so blinded by the dollar amount that may be in your contract, whether you end up getting the full amount or not. If you make $60,000 a year and I come to you and I offer you some type of deal that's structured and is supposed to pay you out 30 or $40,000 a year, I'm pretty sure your eyes is going to light up. That dollar amount steps in front of everything at that point for a lot of people, especially if it's associated with a platform that's going to give you light or a big look, like some of the bigger platforms in the battle rap space are sold. Where do I sign? It happens every day. But here's just some of the conditions and the stipulations or the terms that I feel that y'all need to be very, very careful with. I'm not here to scrutinize. I'm here to hopefully educate and help with videos like this. The first thing that I think people are killing themselves with is not getting designated opponents within your contract, or even a range of the types of opponents, because here in battle rap, we have this thing called tiers. Why not at least get some of that constructed into your contract? So that if it's so impossible to identify at least a crop of opponents, let alone the exact opponents that I would want in my deal. But if I can't do that, then I would take one step back and say, okay, how about a crop of opponents? Because maybe I have, like, let's say a 4-battle deal. Maybe we have 10 people in my contract. Of those 10 people, let's fulfill these 4 battles with those people or from that list, right? And if you can't do that, then at least give me a tiering designation. 4 top tiers, 3 top tiers, 1 mid tier, 2 top tiers, 1 mid tier, 1 up and comer. That's 3 different options to negotiate. And then when you're in these deals and you're wondering why this person's throwing this name at you or that name at you, you don't want to do this or you don't want to do that, it's because it was never discussed or put in front of you, or you never thought about that, or you never requested that or had that placed within your contract. So you leave a big loophole and you have it open-ended as far as the opponents that you end up facing. Number 2, right after not specifying your opponents, how about not specifying the events? If I have a deal that I bring to you and I say, I want you to battle exclusively on RBE for the next year, and I'm going to guarantee you at least 4 battles within this 12-month span. Now, RBE, for example, does different type of events. I have events like Straight to It that are not even promoted. Straight to YouTube, which is still a great look for all battlers to have your footage on YouTube, but they're not promoted. They're not going to be on live pay-per-view. There's not going to be a trailer rollout for them. There's not going to be some press conference and face-offs for them. Sometimes people want to get swept up in that buzz and that promotional rollout. You're not going to have that. Don't you think it would be smart to say, okay, of these 4 battles, is one of them max out? Is one of them Blood, Sweat, and Tears? Is one of them Straight to It? Is one of them Lift His Soul? Because people want to be on the World Doms and the Blackouts and the Max Outs and the Lift His Souls and the Summer Madnesses and the Gnomes. But once again, if you leave that open-ended in your contract and I just toss you over here to some, app-only event, here's the third one. This one should be common sense, but it's missed a lot as well. Simply not having an expiration date. You sign on to a deal and it doesn't have any type of terms that designates when this is over. Here's an example of that. I have a 1-year deal. It's going to consist of 4 or 5 battles. We started in January. I get to December. I only managed to get you on 3 cards. So what do we do now? Does that mean that I can't get the rest of my money, the rest of that $30,000 or $40,000 or $50,000 overall deal until I complete these last 2 battles that may get pushed out into January, February, March, April? And that can go hand in hand with my 4th piece of advice. What about your money guarantee? For example, let's say we're doing a year-long deal and it's going to consist of 4 battles, $40,000 for the complete deal. How do I get my back ends guaranteed? Don't be fooled in thinking that a lot of these contracts or these bookings do half up front for your booking. A lot of leagues, a lot of battles are not going to do half up front. I'm never going to book a person that needs $100,000, no matter who they are, and give them 50 up front in battle rap. Here's a way to do that to protect yourself. We got this year. We got these 4 battles. First quarter of the year, I get my 10. Second quarter, I get my next 10. Third quarter, I get my next 10. Closing out the year, I get my last 10. My $40,000. It becomes your responsibility now to put me on the stage. But if you did not, with me as the signed exclusive person sitting here waiting for you to do what we already were discussing when we initiated the deal, want to know what? I still get paid. I still get paid because you wanted me exclusive for a year. We talked about 4 battles and I got this nice deposit. Cool. Yeah, I needed that 5 grand up front. I needed that 10 grand up front. But now I can't get to my 30 because maybe you made a mistake. Maybe because you don't want to do the event anymore. Maybe because my opponents don't want to battle me, is what you're telling me. Nobody wants to battle me, or these events don't work out for me anymore. Or maybe even I had a situation where that particular weekend I couldn't make it, but that doesn't mean I'm not readily available right after that. But then you have a loophole in your own contract to say, well, you couldn't make this card. So now I can't, I have no way of getting you on any other card for another 6 months. No, that's bullshit. You want me exclusive and you're going to give me a year? Cool. Every quarter I get 25% of that deal then. Why doesn't that make sense? And it's clear. It happens in our culture. It's happening in our culture. It happens to a lot of people, once again, from the biggest to the smallest. You end up not having these stipulations in your contract and you can be shelved, or you could end up on stage versus somebody you really didn't want to battle, or you can end up missing possibly hundreds of thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars or thousands of dollars of a back end because maybe the battle's not happening anymore, or we decided not to put it on, or we're stalling it out. Maybe because I don't have an end date in my contract, I could stall this out for 3 years until you walk away from the contract and relieve me of what I really want to happen, which is not to pay you this fucking back end. All these different types of loopholes that somebody could use against you as an artist if you don't put these simple things in your contract. Try to get your opponents stipulated. If you can't get your opponents stipulated, get a list of opponents stipulated. If you can't get that, then try to at least get a tiering of artists stipulated. Get an end date in your shit. Get a type of events discussed and agreed upon in your shit. And get money guarantees in your contract. You might hear this coming from me and think that, oh, this is a shot, or this is ARP sticking up for this or taking up for that, or he's speaking on this particular situation. Even if you think that I am, is the things that I'm saying wrong, or are they right?